Okay, welcome back to the second game of Squide Squad versus Team Synergy. Once again, Team Synergy goes out for that early Kunkaban. Squide will go with the Drow once again. And overall, this draft seems to be pretty similar to the last one. But Team Synergy will throw in a Respect ban. And overall, I'm a little interested if they kind of plan on doing the same. Squad will actually opt for the Coddle ban. Maybe not wanting to run another very aggressive lineup to counter that Coddle. To make them pay for picking it. Maybe they just think he's that annoying of a hero.
5 seconds remaining.
Team Synergy goes in with their first pick. They will first pick at AA. Very strange for a first pick AA in my opinion. He's very easily killed. He counters only certain heroes. But Squad will have a lot of heroes tonight. They pick up a Bat Rider. Right after that, a lot of easy kill potential. Can just jump on anyone, lasso them in, and a Vengeful Spirit. Now, this Vengeful Spirit, a little interesting on the pick. It's usually picked against Bat Rider. I don't know how often it's picked with it. Swap doesn't really help the Bat too much. And, well, it's overall kind of interesting. They'll probably plan on going more of a physical draft with this, even though Drow was banned out by themselves. See how Team Synergy will respond to this. Looks here. Darkseer just overall really good at disrupting fights. Maybe they're hoping for a vacuum wall and a ice ball, ice blast, ice boom boom right on top of that. Instantly just destroy anyone it touches. Very strong combination if it can be executed.
Reserve time.
Now, using a little bit of time to think about what they want, what they don't want, and that will depend on who they do want and will determine who they do pick up. Well, Squad might want to consider banning out region-heavy heroes like an Alchemist, but they will ban the Lion, pretty strong against Bat Rider. If he blinks into lasso someone and you can get your Hex off quickly, that Bat Rider is doomed at that point. There's not much he can do. I guess Vengeful will be there to swap him out, but that'll be ending her own life just to save Bat. Team Synergy bans out the Luna again. Guess they don't like Luna. Luna overall, I feel, will have been pretty good with their draft. Wall gets people pretty close together. Darkseer has a pretty easy time killing creeps with his ion shells. Squad will ban out the Invoker. They're seemingly worried about more combo going in with this Darkseer AA. Vac into a Deafening Blast Meatball can be very, very strong, especially with a potential Ice Blast to shatter anyone that gets hit by it. Now, Team Synergy will ban out the Timber Saw. Timber is interesting against AA. Ice Blast can mess with his regen a lot, but he will also kill the AA very easily. But Bat can be assumed to be the offlane. Timber can go mid, Bat can go mid, so there was still potential to put him into this draft.
5 seconds remaining.
Now we're gonna have to see what Squad wants to go for. Probably more pickoff. That seems to be their kind of playstyle. Bat Rider, very strong in pickoffs. They had a Nyx, a Lifestealer, and saw their last game, all very good at pickoffs, along with the Marana. And we need to determine who will be good to run with these heroes that will also be good to run against AA and Darkseer. Maybe not the strongest right clicker, maybe someone... Oh, they pick up the ET. Very strong. He can de-initiate the fight, and he can also initiate the fight with a stomp into a split earth. Personal favorite of mine. Very strong. He can carry a game by himself with a good sweep and earth shatter. And they seem to just want him for that counter initiation. Now, Team Synergy will pick up a bat and pretty strong against all of their heroes. He can use his W, aka Apophatic Shield, to take off Lasso, and he can also use his own ultimate if he gets caught by something. He can use his Apophatic Shield to wake up sleeping units, probably. I would assume so. So it's overall very strong against these heroes. He can also right-click really hard against ET and VS. He can chase them down. He can beat them to death with his sword. He can right-click just very well in general, especially with Curse of Avernus. And so they respond with a Brewmaster. Brew has a ton of crowd control. He has mischance. He has a slow on his Q. He has his own evasion. When he ultis, he can put someone into the air with his air panda for, I don't know, like 8 seconds. He can throw stuns with his earth panda. Yes, crit. He's just very strong at control. He can just throw Abaddon straight into the air, and I'm not sure if Abaddon can get out of it. Not sure. Is the part that lets him do it, but they will counter that Brewmaster with a Death Prophet. Death Prophet doesn't rely on auto attacking, very strong against the miss and dodge of Brewmaster, and her spirits can kill his Brewlings pretty swiftly. The Earth one is immune to magic, but Exorcism does do physical and does pierce magic immunity.
5 seconds remaining.
Overall, pretty solid counter pick. She also has that huge AoE silence that she can use against ET, Vengeful Brew, and Bat. All 4 of those heroes kind of rely on their spells. And Squide will ban out this Fen, just worried about maybe a vacuum into a Stormhammer, and then Sven just completely wiping their team with an Ice Blast on top of it. Worried about all the armor that Sven will give them that they're going to be taking off of the enemy. Team Synergy respect bans the Lifestealer. Lifestealer is also pretty good here. He can physically burst down the DP pretty well. He doesn't care too much about silences since he is mainly right clicker. Darkseer can run away from him with his surge, and he can have any hero run away from him. Lifestealer can't lifesteal through Ice Blast, and Lifestealer is kind of weak to Abaddon's Borrow Time, but he can always stop auto-attacking. Team Synergy opts for the Slark, very strong. Bunch of stuns that are very easy to read. Now, if a Bat Rider blinks at you, he's going for the lasso. Stomp doesn't come out very quickly. In fact, it's a pretty slow channel, so that's what will be easy to Dark Pact, and same with Magic Missile. That's pretty easy to dodge too. So Squad has to get someone that can beat, ultimately, I believe, this Slark. The rest of their team is pretty good against the rest of Team Synergy. The main issue I see in this game is the Slark just balling out of control. You know, he has pretty easy targets to get Essence Shift from, to get kills from, to get gold from, and they go with the Jug. Jug is an interesting pick, in my opinion, against Slark. He's very strong against Slark, but Slark is also very strong against him. Slark can just go into Shadow Dance if Jug goes for the Omni, and then Jug's Omni is over. Slark can also Shadow Blade during the Omni Slice, and if Jug didn't use Dust, Slark's just gone. And already we have this Brewmaster there blaming his team for some potato internet. Poor Godo. So on the Radiant, we'll start with them. Once again, we have Oriental Drugs, who was not in the last game, and he is playing Slark, Outlook Cattle on the Abaddon, Taman Shud on the DP, Jackarax on the Darkseer, and Loxley, last but not least, sporting that pretty cool immortal with 553k gold earned gem in it on Ancient Apparition. Holy crap. And for Dire, we have Ouija on Vengeful. We have Phantomnums on the Batrider, a level 8 Koala on a level 1 Brewmaster, and It's a Meat Luigi on Juggernaut. And yet to come in and pick his hero is Godo on the Elder Time. I remember this time. Don't worry, guys. So, I would say Dire, they have a pretty simple way of looking at this game. They're just going to hit you. That's how I see it. They're just going to hit you and hit you and hit you some more. Jug, very scary, especially with the ET natural order reducing a lot of the armor from team synergy, especially on Slark. Slark doesn't build armor items, he builds straight stats. He'll lose a lot of armor because of that. Vengeful, you know, she has her E, or her W, I mean, and her E. That E also helps Jug quite a bit. 36% extra damage on a hero that will smack you to death without a second thought. Add a -6 armor on top of that, and holy moly, you've got an issue. Batrider can just pull people in, Bruce's overall control. Meanwhile, on Team Synergy, they are staying true to their name, and they need to synergize very well to pull out this game too. They need to get some good vacuum into walls, maybe throw a silence on top of that from DP. Oh my god, it's actually just called silence. How simple, how straightforward. I like it. Ice Blast, maybe. I don't think Ice Blast will be necessarily 100% necessary, but it will help very much against Jug's Ward if they do not manage to kill it. Now, Slark, he can kill wards pretty easily. Just walk up, hit it once. He can do it in Shadow Blade. He can do it in Shadow Dance. He can do it on a train. But if he will do it, that will help him a lot. If this AA does not land the ultimate, yeah. So AA, he has a healing ward to counter with this ultimate. He has a lot of heroes can get killed. It's not too terribly tanky. Hit them with their ultimate, maybe hit them with a Crypt Storm. They're going to be very low. And Jug will, or in Slark can just smack either one of them once. Maybe a little bit of Ion Shell, and that's something you need to watch out for. Ion Shell Slark is very dangerous, is very mean, and is very real in this game. Slap an Ion Shell on Slark, he goes, one hits him, pounces on him. What are you going to do? And here we seem to be ready to get into this last hitting contest called Defense of the Ancients. So far, no courier from either team. Oh, no, Radiant has their courier. It's a little Veno thing. Not a Venoling, a Veno thing. Dire has a little robot. Cute. Dire will buy a smoke at level 1. I don't know if they plan on using it. They're all splitting up, so probably not. Bat is actually heading towards top lane, while they seem to be doing an aggressive trio bot. Now, Slark, he isn't the strongest at fighting. He's more of a picking off hero, at least early. His Q, it does hurt him for half the damage, so it's not the most valuable skill. Pounce, you jump at them. It doesn't do much damage, but just keep them in place. And Essence Shift honestly does not do that much damage, or will not help you win a lane. It's just more for you get it every now and then on the enemy hero. I would say if they did want to aggressively try this, they should put the Batrider there. Oh wait, I'm saying the wrong things. Wow, Dire on the other hand, they have a pretty They have ET. He can stomp people. He can put down his W. He can stomp them to sleep. And that will cause a lot of issues. Now, you stomp them, they go to sleep. You follow up with a magic missile, and then Jug starts spinning on them, and they can't really get away from that. Because of this, Sark has to be careful. AA heading towards mid to ward it up. And the most AA can do in this lane is he can throw his E. His E does a lot of damage at level 1. It gives up bonus 50 damage per auto attack. Although it does slow it is an extra 50. That doubles a lot of people's damage. So they get the first peek at this tri lane. And overall, I think they should be pretty scared. Meanwhile, top lane, I think this is honestly just going to be a farm off. Whoever last hits better, whoever denies better, etc., etc. Darkseer can't really deny against a sticky napalmed creep. And Bat can deny against an Ion Shell, but will get a little difficult. Now, they are doing a 2-1-2 lane. Abaddon will come top, but there's not much for him to do here. Unless they plan on giving him the farm, but then Darkseer loses out on the farm, so that's a little interesting. AA will overall stay kind of far behind. But meanwhile, mid lane, we have actually complete lane dominance by this Brewmaster. He has 6 last hits, almost every single one he's seen so far, while everyone else is sitting at 3 or less. At top lane, as expected, lane gets Ion Shelled. Batrider napalms it. But at top lane, they go in on this, but Jug is just a little too slow. No, Sarkim, same move speed. If he was just a little, he grabs early PMS. I think maybe should have gone for boots, because if they do manage to block that pounce again, that is a dead Squide if you get boots before him. And with how this last hitting is going, 9 against 2, I think he would be getting boots before him. So overall, ET zones out with Slark. AA can't really do much about this either. He has a level 1 E. Bree picks up the bottom room, and it's Illusion. DP almost to her bot already. Just smacking away at the wave, smacking away at the wave, yeah. Set it right the first time. Gets a few denies in. But overall, trailing a little bit behind this Brew. Jug actually takes the spot for number 1 farm. Picks up boots. Warriors out, delivering Sentry and 2 TPs. Not exactly sure what the A just goes straight to the top lane. They decide we can't really do anything here. They rotate the Sark in. They change the lane completely. And actually, this will be the... Oh. Maybe I spoke too soon. They trap him in the trees, but ET actually walks the other way. Jug will start smacking him up. ET will hit him. That's the first blood. Pretty beautifully well played. Vengeful got the stun after the surge came out, so he lost all his surge time. Because of that, he just got to spin on him a little more. Darkseer did get out of the spin for a little bit, causing him to live a little bit longer, but ET ultimately hits him with that briefcase. He's done for. But over at this top lane, Batrider is actually getting very farmed, and he doesn't have to be that careful. He has complete control over these 3 heroes. If he napalms one up and goes in on him, or napalms them all up and goes in on him, what are they going to do? Are they going to leash him and then walk away? Sark will have no moves, or no turn rate for that. That will be a bit dangerous for him. So, if he just keeps getting these napalm stacks and then goes for the kill, I don't think there's much they can do. Maybe just run around a little bit in place while they wait for the cold feet to proc and stun him, but overall pretty dangerous. Now, Abaddon is mid, and they're going for this kill. They land the stun, they land the sleep. Abaddon's there to instantly take off the cell from Brewmaster. Not much will happen. Meanwhile, bot lane, it's Jug versus DS. Jug actually does not have to worry about this lane at all. It's a very easy lane for him to win. If anything bad starts happening, he can just spin. Darkseer has nothing he can do once Jug spins, and he'll spin, take out these two Ion Shell creeps. He's a bit low on mana. He doesn't really have any way to regen it without popping his mango. That's kind of a big commitment, because if he doesn't pop his mango, he can spin on Darkseer later and then mango ulti if he's not dead at the end of the spin and still near him. Jug actually does opt for the phase boots, but Darkseer does have the level 2 insert, so he has to be kind of careful. Or Darkseer does not have to be careful. I don't think there's many ways this Jug would kill him. Only way I can foresee is if the Jug ultis when the Darkseer starts his surge, follow him all the way through, and then spin on him. But Radiant or Dire will pull the large camp and make Radiant fight for their last hits instead of really get. Sark will run through all these creeps. He has a Photic shield on. He doesn't really care. He'll get that last hit on that Pill Troll. Jug spins back onto the Darkseer. Darkseer surges away. Jug's at no mana now. Darkseer, he's sitting with a Clarity he just popped and the Soul Ring. He has no worries in this world now. Meanwhile, mid lane, farm has actually equaled out pretty well. Probably due to the DP having more points into her Q. It makes it easy for her to last it, along with her damage and her really nice animation. But Dire's actually coming in for a gank on this, and there's not much this DP can do. DP sees it, and she gets off the Siphon, but with her Spirit Siphon, there's nothing that Dire can do about it. They get kind of low on HP, DP just drains all from them, and Jug is actually walking back to base after tanking those Ion Shell creeps for a little bit. Jug should probably invest in an Iron Talon so he can Iron Talon the creep that's on and then just hit it. We done, he doesn't have to worry about it. Jug will TP back to lane before getting full on mana, but the fountain left over will get him there. And this is pretty much free farm for Jug, honestly. Darkseer will always push it under tower, but Jug has to be very careful. He has to either be careful or he has to use his spin. So top lane, this Batrider is actually doing better than the Stark. He's leading by only 4 last hits, but that's still a roll 3 Batrider against a roll 1 Stark that you're looking at. Stark does have a magic wand though for all this napalm spam coming out. For bot lane, Luigi shows himself to the Darkseer. Maybe not too sure what he was going for there. He can't really solo kill him. Jug wasn't close enough to help kill him. Maybe if Ouija threw out stun and then Jug just instantly phase boosts over with an Omni Slash and then a Q to follow that up. That's a potential kill, but it was a little far. Ouija didn't want to throw this. And DP actually taking this lead from the Brew. Brew still has quite a few more denies, but DP has taken the lead from him. And interesting turn of events. Top lane, still not much happening. Jug sees the stack, decides to farm it. Decides to farm it with this Q. I think he's going Battle Fury. I'm not too sure it would help a lot in lane versus these Ion Shell creeps after he kills it, or if he decides to spin on it. He'll just regen his mana and his health. So that's a lot less he has to worry about. They ping out the small camp, see that's dead. AA is back down here. He's going to go place a ward, and he should be very careful in this lane. He decides not to place a ward. Oh, no. Just places it more defensively. Make sure that the Darkseer is nice and safe. Darkseer sitting on mana boot, Soul Ring. That's a lot of mana. Ooh, but top lane. Oh, Bat throws out his lasso a little too early. Sork just instantly dark backs it off. Maybe hoping Sork hadn't used it yet, but he did. That's simple. ET throws out another W. Not really sure what he was going for. It's a little bit of harassment, I guess. While Slark is actually catching back up in last hits, he's now at 43 versus a Bat Rider's 40. And that's good news. Because even though Jug is sitting at 67, this Slark is actually starting to get his farm now. And when Slarks start to get their farm, they start to get scary. Meanwhile, this Bat, he's almost his Blink Dagger, actually. ET still throwing out random Ws. Not much really being accomplished with them. Yeah, you only do 90 damage at level 2. They're mainly just for getting your stomp out, so not much worth. Puts him at very low mana. Because of that, he can't do any combo, especially if they get dived. Now, they're going with a single pull on their small camp. This will ultimately push out the wave. But Slark, he just comes over here and just takes it for himself. Says, thank you. I'll be mine, though. Kills the jungle creeps, kills the lane creeps. Darkseer karate chops a creep on his own. He's going for early mech. He already has the arcane boots, going for early Greaves. Probably skipping the blink. Brew has his blink. Bat almost has his blink. He only needs 90 gold. And this is their time to really do something. Even ET decides to buy a dust. ET walks back to the fountain to get some mana. He should consider getting some tranquil boots if he plans on walking around that much. And at top lane, they're actually starting to get a little aggressive on this tower. And this AA probably should be using his E on his comrades while they're pushing towers. It does nothing but slow down your push. It doesn't give you the bonus damage. DP will actually pop her ultimate for this. Level 1 DP ultimate, it doesn't really do too much damage. At the next level, it's just twice as effective, so you know, might as well take it for some towers that won't be too heavily contested, if contested at all. She has her Veil very strong on her. She has her Windlace. She's going to be very fast. She actually opted for Treads instead of Mana Boots into Phase. That makes her really fast. And she'll probably go for a Yules after this. Now, Jug already used this cat, wanting to make sure that he's at full HP for this upcoming fight. Brew TPs into the wave, or into the lane, to get to this farm faster. Both of their blinks are now unveiled, and there's a pause that comes out by Slark, the DCer himself. He says he'll BRB, he says he's going to be back. Hopefully. He's almost to half of his Shadow Blade. He could buy the Shadow Amulet in 80 gold. He could buy the Claymore at 180 gold. So that's when he'll become an actual really big threat. Shadow Blade up to VS, hitter, bouncer, Q. And if she actually holds onto a stun for that long, until the end of his Q, he can Shadow Dance to keep on hitting her without her being able to stun him. Or, oh, I don't know what's actually being drawn on the map, I wasn't looking. But they're telling Batrider to go and Firefly through the bottom of this all the way around to get a jump on the Darkseer while they just go straight down the lane. Overall, pretty smart plan, especially if he does it while they are not having vision of him. But currently, the creeps are right next to him. Darkseer has already walked away, so it's a little late for that plan. Radiant, they invade Dire's jungle, probably to place down a ward. And Dire isn't the one who has Slark, so they can't find it out. They place it right here instead of on the high ground. Well, if they just place it right there, they would have been given a lot more vision. They could have seen if they're coming up here to defend this tower that they're about to push, or coming here. Sark bursts down the wave with his Q, nice and simple. Radiant will actually stop pushing bot, and they'll start walking straight into Dire. Now, the Abaddon is up there to see it. He gets lassoed up, but he does have his ultimate, so there's not much that will happen to him. They'll vortex the AA up. They'll stun the Sark. Sark already got his Q off though. Jumps into his ulti. Abaddon gets killed from the rest of Dire. Now they vortex the DP up, but his ultimate ends, so they can't get him back out. BM will actually go to kill the AA, and then they'll start setting back up on this DP. DP will use Spirit Siphon. She's actually dropping no HP at all due to how strong this is against a strength-based hero, but eventually it ends, and they just slow her down, smack her around, and then they get down to Night. But while all of that was going on, Night Juggernaut actually used his ultimate, assuming against Slark, since Darkseer seemed to be full HP. Guess Slark just didn't care too much about that. His ultimate wasn't up when that happened, though. And he's just a free kill. This Juggernaut, with how much he's been using his Q, or how much, he's been using his Q, probably doesn't seem like he had mana to spin after his ultimate, which might have secured the kill on the Slark. Slark, he picks up his Claymore. He's only 500 or 450 away from his Shadow Blade. And when he gets that, like I said before, it will just be a huge boost to Radiant. Overall, this has been a pretty slow kill game. 1-4, 16 minutes in. And because of that, there's not much to Dire, they really need to get the show going. All honesty, they have their blinks. They're sitting on their 2 blinks. They need to be making space for this Jug. Jug isn't at Battlefield yet. DP is actually walking into this Dire jungle by herself. She doesn't care. She sees a Jug. She cares a little bit. She gets away. Maybe she saw that golden cat. Bedazzled her and she had to walk away from it. Too shiny. But mostly, Dire isn't really doing anything with these 2 blinks of theirs. Batrider's just farming in the lane. Bruce farming in the jungle. He's picked up a headdress. Going for Vlad's, I assume. Really strong. He's a really strong just aura building person. Since when he jumps into his ultimate, it can go through that. So, what I would want to see is them finding where this DP is more often, like how she's going to be at mid soon. Just jumping in, grabbing her, bring her back towards this brew and killing her. But they are 3-man grouping. But they're 3-man grouping a little late. Batrider gets up close, grabs her, but Photic Shield comes out. No big deal. Because of that, they're down a 90-second cooldown. And this is where Radiant should probably look to engage. Slark picked up his Shadow Blade. He could just go in. Overall, Dire's kind of spread. Slark decides now's the time. He will lead this assault. Maybe a little too far. Yeah, he's a bit far. And he goes on the Brew. Brew, possibly not the best pick, because he will just ulti like he just did. And Sark is going to get hit with a lot of stuff here, and he has to jump over this ledge. Oh, he lands on top of it, actually. And Bat finds him out. There's an Omni coming out. He's spinning. He's hitting this DP up. DP has her ultimate up, and she's doing a lot through this Juggernaut spin, even though Spirit Cypher doesn't go through it. She catches the Vengeful. She catches the Bat. Spear siphoning everyone, getting an ultra, and their initial target Brewmaster is getting away, nice and safe. Whole life, or whole team giving themselves up for his life. But Bat did catch the Slark, I believe. Or Bat did get a lot done against a Slark, even though it was possibly DP that killed him. Let me check. No, or not DP that killed him, duh. But it was VS that ended up slaying the Slark, giving her a nice little bounty of 432 gold. Lets her finish up Arcane. Not sure, get some more words. Overall, just some DP things. And Abaddon, he's actually going for a more carry-oriented build. He has phase boots. He's going for the Vladimir's offering so he can tank up quite a bit, tank his whole team up, especially against all of this minus armor. That'll help quite a bit. And Abaddon, he can get very scary as a right-click carry later the game goes. Because you can just smack people, and if they turn around to smack you back, pop your ultimate. What do they do then? They can't smack you still. But looking at the last hits, Jug is leading, but it's not last hits we care about, it's net worth. And net worth, even though Jug was top in last hits, he is 4th in net worth. And that's because they're taking fights. Radiant's taking fights. They're getting more out of it than Dire now. But Brood jumps straight in. 2 Man Ice Blast. They're still going on DP. DP has no hope of living. She should have Yuled someone else up instead of using herself up. Just set up the combo for the enemy team. They throw up AA with a Brew. Brew keeps on running him down. And they jump in with the lasso, catch Abaddon. Abaddon just pops his ultimate, absorbs all of the damage since Slark was invisible. And they're just going to turn this now, maybe. Slark chases down the ET. Jug comes in to help him. Slark's Shadow Blaze back up. He's going to go back in for this ET. This fight is just in complete shambles. Slark misses a pounce, kills the ET right before the stomp gets off, and now there's a Brew that's really low. Oh, he jukes out the Ice Blast with his Blink. Very well played, but he can't juke forever. Slark's right behind him, doing Lofus or magical damage. Abaddon manages the last hit, despite the Slark Q and the Ion Shell. And Slark misses another pounce. Doesn't matter. Jug will just spin anyway. A very crazy fight, and Slark, he did what he needed to. He just went around. He hit the ET quite a bit. ET couldn't get off what he needed to without being scared of the Slark and using it on the Slark. So they actually Garden Greaves back up. You go for this push. DP uses her level 2 ultimate. Double the damage of the level 1. Or not double the damage, but double the spirits. So kind of double the damage. And they actually go down towards Roshan, I believe they'll be going for. There's Invis Rune. Slark picks it up. They're actually going for the bottom tier 1. Very easy kill. I would prefer to see a Roshan though. Tier 1's die like butter. But they split up from the lanes. Or they split up in bottom lane. Farm in different areas. DP gets tower, Slark gets incoming wave, AA gets current wave. Meanwhile, all of Dire is grouped up. Clear out creep camp. They seem to want to smoke. And they're going to smoke. And they're going straight down to where they have that ward vision. And probably just saw someone. Abaddon's stacking this camp. They're not in Roshan. Dire just checked. And this is Dire's chance. They have a bunch of ultimates down. Bat doesn't get off the ultimate time. And they bring DP into the air. Or DP took herself into the air. BM perched it anyways. He takes Abaddon into the air. They all gather around. He stuns the Slark. He dodges it. They pull the Abaddon, but Abaddon doesn't care. He's just gonna pop his ultimate. They throw him back into the air. Vac wall into nothing. Jug ultis in. Hits the illusions quite a bit, unfortunate, but then he just spins right back onto this Abaddon. Abaddon melts like butter. Jug goes back, crits the AA. A falls like butter. And now it's the time for their push. They found that fight right when the DP ulti was going down. Perfect timing. She ults herself up to buy time for her team. They said, no ma'am, you get back down here. Purged it with the wind elemental from Brewmaster. She just dies instantly. And that's a huge problem with the DP. She is susceptible to burst. She wants a fight to go as long as possible. Maybe not outlasting her exorcism. But that's a 35-second duration thing, so. So they get around, they decide to go for this. They actually drop the bottle for the venge and pick up the regen. Very smart thinking, because she would have died. Now they have to be a little bit careful. Their ratings coming in. Dire's at half HP, but they do have the ward. DP pops her ultimate. She's going in for this. She wants to fight. She wants revenge. She doesn't like being bursted, but they all just walk away. But maybe, oh maybe, this VS will pay with her life. There she goes. But VS, for a DP ultimate, I would take it. But what I would not take is DP just going straight into the Sorosh pit right after that kill. Taking it. Now she only has a quarter of the timer left, but it won't matter. Dire can't really contest this. All they can do is hope that Bat can launch someone onto this cliff and then snatch it for himself. But that's risky. That's very, 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 very. But that's the kind of things that win games. ET needs to start using his stomp. Oh, he gets close. He kills the Roshan. Bat walks in, grabs the Aegis, just like that. And this is actually huge. Bat Rider actually gets stuck on there. Jug spinning around. And neither team wants to fight. Not only that, Brew was actually top lane. If he was possibly at that Roche pit, that could have been a fight that they wanted to take. But there's that. Jug has his Yasha. He has his Battle Fury. I don't know if the Spirit or if the Silence has really been an issue. It hasn't really seemed like it, if I'm going to be honest. They seem to just blow up the DP instantly. So maybe a more offensive item from him. Maybe a Blink, maybe a Basher to get on top. A Blink to get on top of one of their heroes and kill him, like the AA. If he blinks on the AA, that AA's dead. There's nothing he can do. Maybe just hit him with a crit and then spin on him. I say hit him like a crit, like it's a guaranteed thing. Let's be real. 35% chance. You're gonna crit. Blink on top of the A, hit him with a crit. Maybe hit the Slark when he's not dark pacting with a bash from a Skull Basher would be incredible. And overall, I think this Juggernaut should have not gone the Battle Fury and gone more fighting build. But he is back up at the net worth partially due to that. And they are winning the fights, and that's all that matters at the end of the day, that you're winning the game. See, look, he just got 2 crits in a row. If you're implying he can't blink into the enemy team and crit someone immediately, then I don't know. But he's going for a Diffusal Blade, another really strong item. Bat blinks in, grabs Abaddon. Abaddon just goes instantly to full HP. Vacuum wall into Ice Blast. 2 fall instantly. Bat Aegis gets popped. And this is a very, very scary fight. Bat's down. And Jug and Brew are both running very fast. Brew is actually going to come back. Not to... Oh. They blink forward with them. Surge themselves up. And... I don't know. This is kind of far. Darkseer should be a little careful. And he's just going to get away. No big deal. DP ulti ends right when they reach this tier 3, but they have more than enough right quick to deal with it. They have Abaddon, they have Slark. Both heroes not incredible at pushing towers, but both heroes are something. Abaddon might want Athletic Shield himself when he gets silenced like that. But they decide they're not going to risk it like Dire just did. They're going to back up. They're going to play this a little bit safer. Maybe wait for the next Roshan, maybe wait for the next Slark item. Slark is going what seems to be a BKB now with that Ogre Club. And Let's see. Jug, Xeon Blade of Alacrity, probably Diffusal. As I said before, kind of strong item, not incredible against Radiant. They don't have really any mana dependent heroes to use it against. This is more for overall straight up damage, which is very fine. It's better to get before Manta, because if you get before, or if you get after your Manta illusions aren't doing damage while you're waiting for that Diffusal. There's only a few heroes that Manta illusions will do damage on, and that's usually when they already have a bunch of stats. So overall, the better play, it will give him a lot of agility, give him some intelligence. Jug is a little dumb. 90 mana for his Blade Fury, 275 to 350 mana for his ultimate. At level 16, I don't even know if Jug can spin an ulti. Probably, but then he can't ward. And that's a big problem. This Diffuser will help a lot with that. Vengeful seems to be going for a Force Staff. Yep, she's almost there. 300 gold away. E.T. He's going for Mech. So, he actually just grabs it. Just finishes it up. Bat has his Force. Not sure what he will go for next. Maybe something to pop any future Lincolns coming out. DP is almost to what seems to be a... I want to say a Octarine Core. Possibly Bloodstone. Probably Octarine, though. And, well, who else is there? Abaddon. Not sure what he should go for next. He already has, like, the aura items that he needs. He's already used a Drum Charge. Good job. Darkseer has his Blink. He's going for a Lotus Orb, I would assume, next. Very strong on him. Helps a lot for him and his team. Hoping Abaddon will go more of a carry build. Maybe a Heaven's Halberd to stop this Jug from right-clicking after he spins. Jug has already finished up the Diffusal Blade. He has 1.4k gold, 211 last hits. He is very fat. And Dire will invade, or Radiant will invade the Dire jungle, take up all their farm, and start threatening a high ground push. Meanwhile, Roshan still has a bit of a ways to respond, sorry. And overall, they're just going to have a little standoff. Nothing too exciting. They might want to start considering just leaving this DP mid and not Ion Shelling and hitting it with Abaddons to get her Octarine Core sooner. But they actually blink in, they get her up the hill before Abaddon can Photic shield her. They get her into a very bad situation. The Elder Titan Earth Shatter a little bit off the mark, the Jug ulti a little bit off the mark, but he will die. He will get his ultimate on several people. Stark will come in. He will instantly kill this Juggernaut. DP pops her ultimate. A lot of people were hit by that Ice Blast, but not any of them shattered. Meanwhile, Slark will jump ahead, try to get the Brew. Brew is just pretty dang tanky, pretty dang hard to kill with that. Now, DP goes up a little too far, gets just destroyed. So does Slark. Oh my goodness, where's this damage coming from? Slark Shadow Blades out. And it looks like he'll get out safe with that surge. Bat blinks ahead, finds Darkseer. Ooh, gets swapped back. Meanwhile, Slark is killing this Brew all by himself. Oh, well, after Abaddon was there. Now Slark will come over. He'll help the Darkseer. Almost kill the Vengeful. Vengeful is just... she has a stun. She goes in. Little dangerous. Actually, this Batrider's very close. He is vacuumed for the kill. Very swag kill. Meanwhile, Abaddon's healing all the way back up to half HP. And a little extra. Now, that fight went very well for Dire, but they ended up splitting their resources, and because they split their Batrider and their Brewmaster and their Venge, they just ended up getting their Bat killed by the Slark, or their Brewmaster killed by the Slark, and then Bat comes in. Now, they see this Jug very aggressive jumping, but is there anything he can really do about it? He gets surged up, he starts smacking down this Jug, goes into his ulti, so Jug can't really get out of it. Smacks the tower a little bit. Kills the Not Cat. Hey, will throw in his ultimate a little too late. It doesn't matter. Hits on the Brewmaster, makes him a little afraid, but it'll be over soon enough. Jug doesn't really care about the enemy team, just goes straight in, kills these creeps, starts for this melee push, but he decides for the better to start hitting the range. Vengeful throws out her wave of terror, and Sark is terrified. Now this game, bunch of just swinging around. Let's look at some gold graph. But, oh, while I do that, they jump on Sork. Sork doesn't get the Dark Pact off in time. He actually still doesn't have the Dark Pact off. He just keeps running around. He's getting hit by many things. Darkseer might fall. Oh, they get a little confused on who they want to chase. Darkseer does get caught in the end. But ET will pay for his life with a bit of indecisiveness coming from his team. Sark will just turn around, instantly kill him. Sark will start just pushing once again. And this whole time, DP's been pushing the racks, and she will get both of them. Jiminy. Now, I don't think that this DP has actually used her Veil yet. I think it might have helped a little bit. But, hey. She got the racks, and that's all that matters. Because that's one step closer to winning. What Dire needs to do is they need to start focusing their heroes. They need to start aiming towards the Sark and killing him. Because earlier when they were winning, they were finding this DP, they were killing her as fast as possible, and there's nothing she could do during these fights. But now she almost has her Octarine Core, she's had her Soul Booster for a while, she's getting very tanky. Brewmaster picks up his Aghanims. Quite a big boost to him. Makes it so his passives work all the time. I mean, inside of his ultimate. Or, well, not necessarily exactly worded like that, but it helps. And Darkseer will pick up the Lotus Orb. He is just chilling in the jungle. Abaddon, he's going for an Aghanims. Aghanim's very interesting. I personally would have not gone it. It's, I guess it's really strong against AoE, which is a lot of what Squiddy has on their team. They have a ton of AoE, and Abaddon will absorb all of that AoE damage, or at least half of it, I believe it is. He's like 40% of the damage his teammates take, he absorbs into himself instead. And because of that, he will help a lot. A lot. It will help against the Thunderclap, against the ET Stomp, and the ET Ultimate. It will help against Jug spinning. And Jug, he's sitting on 2.7k gold. He's probably going to save for buyback before he goes. And Roshan has been up for quite some time now, I believe. So, like, sitting on 2.9k gold, Dire's actually picks him off, but Swark gets his Q first, and he pops his BKB very early. But he doesn't care. He just grabs this Batrider. Batrider will shatter. Yep, shatter. DP's on the backlines with her Octarine Core, killing the ET, killing the Vengeful. Meanwhile, Jug's jumping around in his ulti, hitting people up, but he decides that he should spin and he should TP. He's getting a little afraid. But Brew is in the middle of this. Oh, he instantly blinks out and TP's a very, very good, very dangerous though. And after all of that, they only lost 2 people and a buyback right after. And DP's ultimate will end. They don't have the best high ground siege without it. They can clear these creeps really quickly, sure, but all they have for right-clicking is DP. It's actually surprisingly strong. Abaddon's passive, and Sark now Bat blinks a little aggressively, doesn't find anyone for this Flaming Lasso. Ratings Tier 1. Ooh, this DP just a little aggressive. Oh, but she gets a Lotus Orbed up, so Bat can't grab her. But Bat grabs someone more important. He grabs the Slark. Slark just goes down, isn't able to be saved. It gets swapped back, but big vac wall comes out, and a T-ping in the middle by Dire. Heroes very ballsy, but during that, Juggernaut died to probably the replicant wall. Abaddon gets smacked down. Darkseer jukes out the Batrider. Overall, very successful high ground defense. Oh, and the DP also gets caught out. It's not being fast enough on that escape. So overall, very good high ground defense. They grabbed the Slark, and because they grabbed the Slark while they were also killing the DP, they had, or Radiant had to split their forces. They killed the Slark in time. DP wasn't doing too much. She didn't have her ultimate up yet. And that's something you need to be careful when you're playing DP. A lot of your everything, a lot of your regen, a lot of your damage, a lot of just DP is in her ultimate. Although Spirit Siphon has helped alleviate that problem quite a bit. But overall, very good high ground defense. They make Jug, but Jug did have to buy back. He does finish up his Manta. Now his Manta illusions and his Diffusal will be very scary. Just 3 Jugs each hitting you for 40 mana each time. That's scary, man. Or 20 mana from illusions. So 2 Jugs for 20. 1 Jug for 40. But more importantly, it does give him more stats, and stats is what Jugs love. Because it helps with his crit, it helps with his attack, which helps with his crit, it helps with his crit. And next, I think Jug should probably go for either a Blink or a Basher. I would say since they have the Brew and the Bat, you should go for the Basher. 3 Bs of Dota. Basher, 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 I would say, actually. I just like me some Bashers, man. So, Brew, going an interesting skill build, maybe going for a Refresher. Roshan's been up this whole time. He's just been hanging out while these fools have been killing each other. But it seems like both teams starting to realize, hey, let's go kill that guy hiding in his pit. He'll drop us some, I think this will only be his second death, so no cheese yet. So unfortunate for whoever the killer is. But Dire, they overall split away from Roshan, while Radiant very, very afraid to actually go into the pit and commit to a Roshan. But with their team, they should not. They should just leave AA in this area so he can Ice Blast very easily into there. And they have all their ultimates up. But they seem to want to push bot instead. Maybe force some people to walk this way to get to bot and then have Slark walk up here and catch one of the supports out. Radiant uses a scan, sees that there's people over there, and then sees that they're no longer over there. And everyone's just kind of twiddling their thumbs at this point. Slark sitting on 2k gold, 1k after buyback. ET sitting on impressive 1.4k. He's probably going to go for the Garden Greaves, which I do not think would be the best choice. They have an AA who can just completely nullify your Garden Greaves. You need something else to get, or to help your team. Something like a Glimmer Cape. Glimmer Cape would help very much, and you know, because it will reduce the damage that you're taking from A's ultimate in the first place, and if they don't have detection, they can't actually hit you during it. So, but Radiant, they decide they've waited long enough. They're going to go straight into this Dire, or into this Roshan. Dire have seemingly no clue about it. They haven't pinged, they haven't drawn, they haven't. They're kind of grouping. But while that is going on, Abaddon is actually falling quite low. He should be a little careful. He should be letting Slark tank this, so afterwards. But Dire, if they have any clue, they're not going to act on that intel. Instead, they're going to make sure their lanes aren't pushed too far in. AT is nearing that Guardian Greaves. Bat has his BKB, but his buyback will be down, in less than a minute, so he's probably going to save for that. Jug still has 2 minutes on his, so maybe he should try selling his poor man shield, going for a blink. Brew has almost his whole refresher. He's just standing there, being annoying. He gets Force Staff. Maybe Venge telling him to stop. Venge has a Glimmer Cape. Jug's doing taunts. So is Venge. But all of Dire, they decide it's time to go top. Probably actually time for them to, or all of Radiant goes top. They're probably actually looking for one of their endgame fights. DP has a plate mail going into a Shiva's. This Darkseer, I'm not exactly sure what he's going for. I wouldn't say Refresher. Darkseers don't really scream Refresher to me. Maybe with a Perseverance, he's going Lincoln's? That's the only other logical choice. I don't think he wants to go Battle Fury. Abaddon is almost to his Aghanims. He should be a little careful though, because if he dies, he won't have buyback. No, he won't have buyback at all. In fact, let's check who will have buyback. I think most people, yeah. Only Jug, who's still down for 44 seconds, but will have gold once it's up, will have the buyback. Vengeful is just 150 away. Maybe she can snag that gold right quick. AA can also go really well with buyback, even if he is on the team that's across the map, because he can just throw his ultimate in if he didn't get off before. Sorry, going invis. Oh, no, he's just going for last hits. Sark maybe should have considered a Silver Edge, actually. And he spent quite a bit of gold. He's got 2 ultimate orbs. He's actually going to save for buyback and get Scotty at the same time. He forgot to buy the Orb of Venom at the shop, though. A little unfortunate.
I'll take that.
It's a change that gets a lot of people. So he'll have to send the... Yep, there's Orb of Venom in the stash. I'll have to send the courier back to base to grab that before it comes out to him. And he'll actually do that now. Meanwhile, while he's off solo pushing bot, everyone else is in the Dire jungle, farming up. Brew is still spamming his abilities. How much was the refresher thing recipe cost? Yes, 1,800 gold. Quite a bit. Quite a bit. And he probably doesn't want to risk his buyback for a refresher. Now, I haven't played Brew in a long time, and actually 2 minutes left on the cooldown of, or on the length of Aegis. But DP will pop her ultimate. Maybe they had a timer going so they knew. But Sork, he gets grabbed. Sork will fall instantly against these guys. But it doesn't matter, he had Aegis. Pop his BKB, pop his ulti, get out. ET will land a very good ultimate against this DP. DP will fall, but all of Dire taking massive damage from this Jug illusion. Oh my god. Brew almost, his Brewlings almost fall, crits himself, turns around, gets someone a little drunk, gets stomped up. Jug critting himself, but critting Abaddon at the same time. Oh my god, there's so many Jugs running around, I don't know what's going on. Another really good defense. They just managed to catch Slark in an awkward position, and while he was reviving from the buyback, they killed the DP. Slark had to use both his BKB and his ulti. Maybe a little bit of a mistake to use both of them just to get out. And Radiant showing very good patience and very good high ground defense. Oh, repeatedly catching the Slark out of position and pulling him into the base. And at this point, Radiant, they're going to have to be a little careful with what they do. Let's see what they've got coming out. Oh, Darkseer is going for this Refresher Orb. I guess 2 walls is really strong against a Juggernaut. I don't know. I haven't seen him in so long, or Darkseer in so long, that I wouldn't figure that having 2. I would prefer... Well, I guess the DP is actually getting the Shivas, huh? Yeah, a little awkward overall. Restaurant responding in 4 minutes. Thank you, base timer. Saved me a lot of headache. Stark has his... I have Scotty. Has his buyback. Has 1.5k. Should probably invest in a Silver Edge so he can get off Brewmaster's dodge and his crit and Jug's crit. And Astral... Or in Natural Order. Natural Order very strong against Stark. If he had a Silver Edge against that, that could help quite a bit. Jug going for a Scotty of his own, I believe. Maybe a little bit of a mistake. It makes him... It doesn't give him the lockdown or the mobility he needs. It slows down the enemy. And he doesn't need that. He has the diffusal for that. The only other thing it does is make him really tanky, which will help quite a bit against Sork. Sork has been killing him kind of easily, honestly. Surprisingly easily, I would say. So, I don't know if this Jug has been getting his wards down in time. Or if this Sork has just been killing him, but hey. DP overall out really far ahead. I'm surprised this bat didn't go on that. Bat 400 from BKB. That will help quite a bit, but it won't help him get his targets back to the base. Or back to his team when he passes them due to that aphotic shield.
Each blow sharpens my blade.
Jug's still doing taunts. Darkseer still running at the speed of sound. AA still being AA. AA, he's trying to buy a bounty, and look at this brew, still pumping his Q. Abaddon has his Aghanims. Let's make sure. Okay, increases duration. Percent of all damage taken. 50% actually instead of 40. Huh. Well, I went with 40. That sounds a little random. But Sork, yep, he's going for that Silver Edge. Overall, very beneficial for him. As a buyback, he should start considering a Boots of Travel for the next time they get into a fight. If he dies early, he can buy back Boots of Travel in. That'll help. DP, having her Shivas, I don't recall if she has actually used his Veil yet. Which is very unfortunate. Veil is purely for the activation. Not as much as BKB is, but you want to activate Veil. Trust me. And Dire has to be kind of careful because this Darkseer illusions with Wall of Replica have been doing a lot of work. Because of that, well, because of that Wall of Replica and the fact that there can be two now, you need to be pretty careful. I think Radiant, they should keep waiting for this Roshan. Roshan's only up in 1 minute. Of course, they don't know that, but still. They've waited this long, they might as well wait just a little bit longer. Again, they don't have any indicator for it. ET throws out his astral form. So it's called, yeah. Astral Spirit. Gets a stomp going. Hits actually 3 people. If they're, yes, they initiate right here. But Sork, he gets off his Q. He instantly goes into his ulti. He instantly goes into his BKB. Ooh, Jug gets hit by the ultimate, but gets off his own ultimate just in time. Dodging quite a bit of damage, but will he still die to the Shatter? No, he will not. He's still spinning, though. He needs to drop that ward. He needs to get back in there. He needs to fight, and he needs to watch out for these 2 walls. Overall, Dire doing a really good defense, but both teams not really coming ahead, in all honesty. This is a really awkward fight. Eventually, the ET falls, but that's an ET. DP's ultimate is over. Their walls are already down. But they do get the top racks. Jug does go back in. He crits up people. Crits up this DP. Slark, meanwhile, was sleeping on the job. Gets away. DP actually kills the Juggernaut with a little help from Abaddon and Darkseer. They're going to turn around. Oh, and that's a GG. And just a little bit more smacking going on. Well, they were doing pretty good at high ground defending. Squide, that is, and their main success came from getting the Slark and at least killing him or taking his Aegis, and then immediately after that, just instantly killing the DP. But that fight, it was so chaotic. There were 2 walls. There's DP's ultimate. Slark didn't die. He instead got the Dark Pact off in time, and it was just too chaotic for Squide Squad to really do what they wanted to do. Because of that, they lose their melee top, and they decide for a GG, and that'll be a 1-1. And that's all I have for you. It's been a pleasure casting for Dino and casting for everyone here watching. If you had fun, if you had a good time, follow Dino, please. I will always cast with this wonderful man, except for when I don't. Have a great day.